Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I will detail the story of rapper B Real from the group Cypress Hill. B Real was born Louis Freeze on June 2nd, 1970 in Los Angeles, California, to a Mexican father and a Cuban mother. His father was an American citizen, but his mother's road to America was rough. She was a political prisoner in Cuba during the reign of Fidel Castro. She was in prison for speaking ill of Fidel, and after her release, she would later escape to America. And in America is where both of his parents would meet. B Real's parents would later separate. This would lead to his mother taking him and his siblings moving all over Los Angeles County to find stability. B would live in places like East LA, South Central, Gardena, and Southgate, where he would meet future group mates Sin Dog and his brother Mello. B Real's father would later start his own trucking company, but a dispute would lead to his father being shot 12 times. This will open up B Real's eyes early about how crazy the world was and how he should approach and carry himself in life. B was heavy into music growing up and considered himself a b-boy, but his focus would later change with what was going on around him. B would later be introduced to what the east side of South Central had to offer. B would become affiliated with a gang known as the Neighborhood Family Bloods. The Neighborhood Family Bloods are a blood gang that has been around for several decades. They are rivals to various Crip gangs and have two cliques in their hood, known as the 8-9 and 9 Deuce Family Bloods. But their close relationship with another gang, called the Mad Swan Bloods, will form an alliance known as the Family Swan Bloods. With B Real having over 14 siblings between his mom and his dad, many became gang members, but most of his family with their heritage decided to stick with Latino gangs. But with B Real living where he was and being friends with the guys he knew, it was an easy connection with the Bloods, and his friend Sin Dog introduced him to the gang lifestyle.
We claim this block. This is our gang, right? Not all of us hang out, not all of us get along the same way, but there might be 5 or 6 of us within that 200 that are our own circle and that we hang tough and shit like that. And, you know, we always stood within our circle. I mean, we were a part of everyone else too, but we were the tightest over here. And for a time, yeah, man, I ran in this one circle within our set, as we call it.
Yeah.
And we were running fucking wild. I mean, I got the name B Real through, you know, the gangbang life. Because before that, Sen and I, we've known each other before that. I mean, Sen sort of introduced me to the bangers that I eventually got down with. But I knew Sen Dog way before that.
Being a gang member came with a lot, and B Real started committing crimes and banging, the normal life of a gang member. But this would lead to being shot, with him and a group of fellow Bloods would be walking when a group of Crips pulled up in a car and started shooting at them. B and some of his friends were shot, which B would be shot in the side, and which punctured his lung. But seeing how his life was going, B's friends Sin Dog, Mello, and DJ Muggs, who newly started doing music, asked B to try writing a few songs, which B wasn't feeling at first, with him being so caught up in the gang lifestyle. But they convinced him, and they would make a demo. With things getting serious with music, he decided to step back and start banging, and fully give us all the music. By 1988, Sin Dog, his brother Mellow Man Ace, DJ Muggs, and B Real would form the group DVX, but Mellow Man Ace was blowing up off of his single called Minty Rosa and went solo. After this, B and the rest of the group members would try to find a way to success and learning the business, and the group changed their name to Cypress Hill after a street in Southgate called Cypress Avenue, and also after hearing Cypress Hill in the song. After recording a demo in 1989, Cypress Hill signed a record deal with Rough House Records in 1990. They would begin working on a debut album. While working on their first album, B Real developed his distinctive, high-pitched voice and his rap style. Previously, he rapped with his normal voice, but DJ Muggs told him that his rap delivery was boring and warned them that unless he changed it, he would be overshadowed by Sin Dog, and this changed him to the rapper he became. In August of 1991, the group Cypress Hill would drop their self-titled album, Cypress Hill. The group Cypress Hill and their music content was a lot different than music at the time, and with being so different, they would gain a major buzz and popularity, and their album would go platinum. The group would be known as a group who helped transition music with speaking upon weed. Their song from the album, The Killer Man, became their biggest hit from the album, and was even used in the movie Juice, starring Tupac and actor Omar Epps, which helped the group out even more. But with their success would come with some rap beef. Chubb Rock, had quoted the group's breakthrough single, How I Can Just Kill a Man, on his 1992 track, Yabba Dabba Doo, and Cypress Hill took the verse as disrespectful and mockery of their style. Members of Cypress Hill saw it as a direct shot at them because it was delivered in Be Real's cadence. Cypress Hill's follow-up album was 1993's Black Sunday and was even a bigger hit, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and eventually selling 3.4 million copies. They became the first Latin rap group to have platinum and multi-platinum albums and remained the best-selling Latin rap group of all time. But on their lead single called Insane in the Brain, Cypress Hill would take shots at Chubb Rock and Kid Frost.
Like bones, like in the ceiling, hanging down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I remember Sen Dog was like, "Oh, this is Chubb Rock right here," because I guess at the time you guys were beefing with Chubb Rock. You might have been the only people ever to beef with Chubb Rock.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
man, you got a good memory for that shit.
I do.
No, I totally remember him saying that now that you say that. Like Insane in the Brain was the first single, which I didn't realize was going to be the first single. We thought it was a great song for the album, so we go with it. But what they don't know is that it's a slight to Chubb Rock, and it was a slight to Kid Frost.
Oh, really? I didn't know about the Kid Frost part.
Yeah, Kid Frost and Sen Dog had a little thing happening at the time, and so it was a combination of something that happened between Frost and Sen Dog, and then with Chubb Rock, it was based off of that Yabba Dabba Doo video, where
he kind of dissed y'all.
It seemed like he dissed us. Like no one ever really talked about it, but we heard it and we were like, is that a fucking diss? Time for some lyrics. What the fuck is that? Getting insulted by somebody who you get down with, that was like a fucking stab right in the heart, because we had done shows with Chubb Rock. So for that shit to be out there, like, no. It ain't gonna happen like that. We don't allow anyone just to come at us. We are not those guys. We ain't gonna just sit on our hands and let anyone take a shot at us. So whether we were wrong and we misinterpreted the line, I don't know. I think we were on the money with it, because he took my cadence and said, time for some lyrics. And that to me was like, are you questioning my ability here? All right, so we're gonna shoot it off on you. You didn't mention our name, but you spit this cadence and said these particular lines. So we came up with Insane in the Brain.
The group Cypress Hill would drop their third studio album, Temples of Boom, in 1995, which will also go platinum. But this album will also cause more rap beef with Be Real and Ice Cube, who once had a close relationship at a point, but fell out over a song. Cypress Hill's song will be called Throw Your Set in the Air, which Ice Cube would hear before it came out. On Ice Cube's movie Friday, the soundtrack, he made a song called Friday, but the song basically sounded like Throw Your Set in the Air, with the chorus being identical. This situation led to diss songs from both sides, and a beef that wouldn't be squashed until years later.
Fast forward to all these years, we've been doing shows with him a lot in the last couple of years, like a package with us, him, us, and Bone Thugs and Harmony and a few others. And we just did Australia again with them, which was phenomenal. Him and Doug C. ripped it, did our thing, and we're about to go back and do some more stuff with Tim and knock Europe down. So it's crazy coming full circle like that, because where we were at when we were beefing, it was pretty ugly. But peace is better.
Yeah.
B's a good dude. Yes. I've always been a fan. Cypress Hill. Mm-hmm. And so it's cool to be past them beefs, man. Mm-hmm. Be on the other side of that. I ain't got nobody that want to do nothing to me now.
I ain't got no haters.
Ain't got no haters.
Shut up.
Be Real would even have beef with rappers from his own hood, like rapper Sinister, who dissed him on his album in a song called Don't Get It Twisted, where he said Be Real switched up and didn't do anything for their hood, and also wasn't like that for real in the streets. In 1996, Be Real would be a part of the Space Jam soundtrack, and also in 97, B would be a part of a group called Psycho Realm, and they would drop a self-titled album, but this would be their last album. By 1998, Cypress Hill would drop their 4th album, being another successful album, going gold. In 2000, Cypress Hill would drop the Skull and Bones album, which would go platinum as well. And in the same year of 2000, Be Real would form a rap metal group called Kush. Cypress Hill would drop 2 more albums in the 2000s, but none would have the same success that they were used to. After this point, Cypress Hill would take a break, and Be Real would do a lot of solo projects, dropping 4 mixtapes between 2005 to 2010, and in 2009, B would drop his first solo album called Smoke and Mirrors. After almost 6 years, Cypress Hill would drop the album Rise Up. B would slow down a few years with music and start doing other ventures, but he would come back in 2013 and drop a mixtape with his new group called Serial Killers, which with that group, he dropped 4 albums from 2013 to 2020. B will also be a part of a group called Prophets of Rage, and that group dropped 2 projects in 2016 and 2017. B also dropped 4 mixtapes with Bay Area rapper Burner, also known as the owner of Weed Strand and brand Cookies. Cypress Hill will also drop their last albums with Elephants on Acid in 2018 and Back in Black in 2022. Outside of music, Be Real would do a lot of things in the entertainment industry, like voice roles in the Rugrats movie, also appear in Method Man and Redman movie How High, also movies like Meth After Park, Thicker Than Water, Shade, and a few other roles. B started his own paintball club and also live streaming site Be Real TV, which features interactive programming over the internet. He is also the host of video podcasts, Dr. Green Thumb podcast, and the Smokebox and Meditation podcast, and opened up his own cannabis store, Dr. Green Thumb. Be Real TV YouTube channel has been successful, having over 800k subs and over 130 million views. Be Real has had a successful career and became a fan favorite, and with his contribution to rap, him and Cypress Hill had their star placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. For what he did in the rap game, with his unique style and flow, Be Real is considered a West Coast pioneer. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.